You're recording right now?
Yes, I'm recording right now.
So you brought a hard-boiled egg
I'm
into the
hungry.
studio,
I'm hungry.
and I'm peeling it on the table for you.
Yes.
Okay.
What
Instead
words are
of
we confused by right now?
that I'm not that nothing. This isn't this is how I do things.
This is our
Peeling
pod.
the hard-boiled egg in the studio on the table.
Do you feel this is a misogynistic moment? Is that what this is?
No,
Oh,
misogynistic. What's that got to do with
well, I didn't know
anything?
because you're peeling it
I
for
don't
me.
know
Are you a trad
why.
wife? Do you know what that is?
I just learned that. Traditional wife, a
Are you being serious?
trad
You just learned
wife.
that?
Yeah.
Don't tell me social media.
No.
Oh, how'd you learn it?
Who was it? I think Helene said that to me yesterday.
Oh, she did?
Or when we were out to dinner Saturday, trad wife.
No,
Yeah.
for real.
Yeah, and it was the question was, do you know what it is? I'm like, I have no idea what
How
you're
did it
talking
come up
about.
in context?
I don't know. I don't remember. Okay, I don't know why. So
What?
you think that I peel an egg better than you peel an egg?
I
Because
think
this is
I think I struggle with the peeling of that egg for
it's
some
not
reason.
peeling well.
I
Sometimes
know.
eggs are like that.
Well, it depends on who made them.
Well, I know, but I made them
Do
perfectly
you feel I'm asking you to
because
be a trad wife right now? You put
uh
laundry in, which I do laundry, but right now you're doing it. So, or do you feel you're a trad
you
wife right now?
don't do laundry. Why do you think you get to stake claim to the laundry?
I do laundry. What are you talking about?
You do laundry,
That's what I'm
but
saying.
I'm not saying it's your role. It's not
No. I
like,
don't mean it that way.
oh,
I mean
okay.
it that, well, in a trad wife setting, my microphone is all funked up. Hold on a second. Hold on. It's all stuck in
I think
here.
these are also something we're supposed to adjust
In a,
before we
well,
start
no, I
rolling.
didn't mean to sit on the cord. That's what I
Yeah,
was doing.
yeah.
In a trad, I'm guessing what this is because I'm not of this thinking or
You joke about it a lot though.
well, I find it funny. I joke about a lot of
You
things
say
that
things like that's what women should do.
well, I joke about a
With that
lot of
voice like
things.
that, and your knuckles are dragging on the ground.
I joke, can I finish?
No.
As a trad husband, I'd like you to pay attention to me when I talk.
Okay. You promise you're going to clean this egg up off the table
You didn't say when.
uh, right when this
Sure.
podcast is done.
If we could get, we're having our breakfast. I'm so glad Key doesn't produce this anymore. Love her to death, but boy, would she give us a hard time for eating and drinking on camera. But it's our podcast and no one listens to it anyway, so it
Let
doesn't
alone the
matter.
talking nonsense part.
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
I'm asking about trad wife stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So you peeling an egg would be considered trad wife because people post stuff like, "Oh, libtards, are you upset that I make my husband breakfast before he gets ready and goes off to work because I'm a trad wife? I like making breakfast for my husband." It's the dumb. Do you agree it's the dumbest fucking thing? Or no?
Uh, this
That
like
type of argument that because you
yeah.
make breakfast you're somehow a trad wife or there's something wrong with liking to do that. No one says you can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? If a woman wants to
Yeah.
be an
Yeah,
old
of
fashioned
course.
1950s fucking wife, no one's saying not to do it. We're just telling you not to tell us to be that way.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Do you agree with that?
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
For,
You talk while I
for
eat.
sure. Yeah. I don't know anymore, Jack. This world is fucked up.
There's
It's so
nowhere we
fucked
can
up.
go now.
I know. My kids just got back from Europe and they had terrible experiences.
Yeah, but
And I was telling you last night that part of that was my kids are doing it on the cheap, right? So they stayed in hostels, which were fine, but and then they were trying to eat inexpensively, but that's difficult when you're in Paris. I mean, really, it's tough to eat.
difficult anywhere.
Yes, it's
No?
difficult anywhere, but to eat cheaply in Paris is difficult. And then they went to Spain, and tourists are not welcome. They were
In
ignored
parts of
in
Spain,
cafes.
in very
They
touristy
went to
areas,
Valencia
in
and
a very touristy beach spot. I'm not trying to take away their
hmm
experience, but they went to
Well, sure,
It's
but I mean, it's changed, right? It's
if
different.
you are a New Yorker in your soul for some things, you spent some time there. You're not a New Yorker by anything other than getting a chance to spend more time than most people who
Hmm.
don't live there.
Yeah.
Okay, I prior to COVID was in New York often because of work, like a lot, right?
Yeah.
If you go to Times Square or Rockefeller Center, it is, or even in Chicago, Michigan Avenue,
Hmm.
you'll see more protesters there against
Hmm.
tourism or tourism like
So your
things.
point is where they were
Didn't
was going
help.
to be, yeah,
They're in a highly touristy area that
right.
was under a lot of scrutiny and objection of locals because foreigners and the Spanish government, again, the little bit I've read, I am no way a historian on European or Spanish politics. But Valencia is Times Square. It is Miami Beach. It is Michigan Avenue, Chicago, right? It is
Hmm.
Rodeo Drive.
Hmm.
If I'm picking those types of
I don't
places,
know. I've never been there, so I don't
it's
know if those are,
Broadway in
but
Nashville.
so, yeah, they're touristy spots, is what you're saying.
Correct. And you're going to
Um,
likely have more people complaining about the influx of tourists there.
well, okay, so
I'm not taking away their experience. I know it sounds like that.
no, but I think one of the big points they were making was that they the people that live there, housing is a big issue. And there are foreigners gobbling up housing
Correct.
and putting it up for rent on Airbnb and making it virtually impossible for locals to live and work in their cities. And and that's a sad state of affairs for them for sure, because they even if they can rent a place for an entire year, in their contract it says they have to vacate the premises during the summer months. Where the hell are they supposed to go?
Yeah, they got to get out so
They live
tourists
there,
can
they
be
do,
there.
yeah, they don't have a
Yeah.
home, and then they have to leave so that the owner can make three times the money on the rental during the summer. It's just sad, and
I
it
feel
just I feel bad for the locals that are just they're truly just trying to survive, right?
incoming. So the question I asked your daughter,
To live a good life.
before we get too far down this path of heaviness and
Mm-hmm.
depression,
Mm-hmm.
thank you 47 for all of this. We love the anger and vitriol. It's so pleasing. Oh, wait a minute, it's on both
47?
sides.
What?
That's the number of the president.
Oh, oh, oh.
I don't call him by name. Could you do me a favor
Lord have
before we
mercy.
get too far down this proverbial?
Yeah.
The chalkboard is vacant and empty for your artistry. So would you mind just making sure everyone who's watching this can see the brand of our show, just in case they're confused? I just like when you do drawings, so you can come up with something.
What did I do the last
Well, you
time?
just
The
put J
Jack.
and you put J and S shit show, and then you
Yeah, I
did J
forget.
and C. So one of the questions I asked your daughter was if she senses that income inequality all over the world. Because when you and I have toured Europe, we're at an age and stage of life where we've earned more money. We've worked to a point where our careers are more successful, right? With me?
Yes.
My turn.
It's not centered because I can't
My
do that
turn.
from here. Don't draw a penis.
I'm not going to draw a penis.
You're going to draw a dog that starts to look like
I'm not going to do
you're
it.
going to draw a penis that ends up like a dog.
I'm just going to be an artist. You draw the words. I do this. So, what I was getting at with your daughter,
It's a duck.
it's a duck. There we go. What I was getting at was with your daughter was asking her if it was an income inequality thing. That's what I was getting at with her. That's a duck. See it? Do you see it? Stop. We're on a podcast. Look at it's a duck.
It's not reading as a duck. I'm sorry, babe.
It's a duck.
Yeah.
Well, I
Yeah.
cleared that out. It's a duck. That's what I didn't mean to do that. Okay, you're being really
Is that our
judgmental.
mascot
Yeah, our mascot's a duck.
who shits?
Shit, what is that?
Where's
I
shits go?
asked her. Oh, nice one. Oh, just put a little poop coming out of the duck.
All right. So you were talking to my
Well,
daughter
it's
about the
really an income
inequality.
thing. So what the people in Valencia and Spain are complaining about is they can't afford housing because all the rich people have it.
Hmm.
But it's no different than here. REITs are killing this country from my point of view. Look at what BlackRock is doing.
Hmm.
And at the same time, how do you stop capitalism? How do you tell
Hmm.
someone you can't make money?
Hmm.
That then becomes socialist, right? That then becomes Russia.
Well, would um in New York you have rental caps, right? You have
I don't think they have that anymore. I have to look that up. I
yeah,
don't
they
know.
do. Certain buildings do.
Yeah, but then so here's my
But
question.
I
Go ahead.
let me finish my thought.
I was
So
mansplaining.
isn't that yeah, thank you. Love that. Um
Wish I had a trad wife.
uh the rental caps that they have in New York, isn't that a version of socialism to protect people from,
But
so they
see,
don't get kicked out of their housing?
this is where government should be for everybody, not just what we're seeing across the world, which is
Yeah.
government for rich people. It happened in Turkey. It's happened clearly in Russia. We are becoming a world of the things we ran from hundreds of years ago, which is
We're going
kings and
backwards.
monarchies.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
The role of government should be there to protect people.
Mm-hmm.
I am in favor of capitalism. It's funny, you and I were talking about how Bernie Sanders was on Kara Swisher's podcast on.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then I read posts about that podcast that were on Threads and Blue Sky and Instagram. And those on the non-Bernie camp, I won't even give them a color, we'll just say non-Bernie camp, said, oh, it must be nice that Bernie can sit here and proselytize. My words, not theirs, because I think that's a big word for them. That was mean. Bernie proselytizes equality for everybody, right? Healthcare for everybody, oligarchy and everything else. And yet he's a millionaire. No one is saying you can't be a millionaire.
Mm-hmm.
Your friend Nancy said it best when their family got hit with higher taxes because her husband and her do so well. She said, it's our privilege to pay these taxes to help people who don't have the same beginnings. You forgot that only 8 years ago we were near bankrupt.
Yeah.
And it was government policies that allowed us to get out of that bankruptcy.
Right.
The stereotype comes in when people say, oh, there's just lazy people taking advantage of the system. There are lazy people taking advantage of the system. Sure. In the States, it's around 2% for SNAP, for example.
There are,
But there's also assholes at the top of the system that
that's
are
what I was
taking
just going to
advantage
say.
of it.
There are tax loopholes and other things at the top of the system that people with
That's
money
right.
also take advantage of the system.
We
Yeah.
all believe that at some point we're going to be as filthy rich as an Elon Musk. Why not me?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's what gets played to people who are, in some cases, less educated because they're more trusting.
Mm-hmm.
They are less informed or ill-informed, and they lack critical thinking skills. I saw a post that, I can't believe we're going down this heavy path. I saw a post where this person was talking about how the website of the U.S. government is doing all these terrible things and promoting all this bad stuff. So thousands of people said, fuck the government, meaning on the left. Can't believe they're doing this bullshit. They're breaking the Hatch Act.
Mm-hmm.
We have a computer on our fucking hands. So I went online
Mm-hmm.
and I went to us.gov
Yeah.
and I looked at every damn, I'm a tech person, right? I build these things. I looked at every page and I'm like, where are they getting these pictures? So I wrote, I can't find these pictures anywhere. And it turns out it was just propaganda bullshit. That's where people say it's happening on both sides. We are so interested in our echo chambers that we're missing the point of facts. The government is supposed to be there in Spain, for example, and I don't run Spain, but the government should be there to say, yo,
Mm-hmm.
residents need more of this stuff. I'm not saying ultra nationalism is the only way. I think you
Yeah.
agree with me.
Yep.
But that's why what I really feel your kids were experiencing was the wealth gap because they're not wealthy yet. They're
Well,
young
yeah,
and they're not yet wealthy
yeah.
and they're working to get there. I was not wealthy when I was their age,
Mm-hmm.
but they're also in Europe.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They
Mm-hmm.
were able to save up enough money to go
Mm-hmm.
there. They
Mm-hmm.
just wouldn't travel as maybe you and I would.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope if they listen to
Well, and
this,
that was something I pointed out to my son when we had brunch yesterday. I said, "Do you think that if you would have been traveling with me and, had an
$400 a night
experience an
hotel
experience at a different price point that it would have made a difference?" He's like, "Well, of course." So he was definitely commenting on how challenging it was to. On nothing. Um, yeah, and that wasn't the only thing, but that's a big thing, and he admitted that.
I feel
But
when we traveled on nothing at their age, things were far more affordable. The wealth
agreed.
gap wasn't as
Yeah.
huge. There was a hell of a lot more kindness on the planet. You didn't have this misogyny or return to
Yeah.
things.
Hotels and housing and finding places to stay was not as cost prohibitive as
And
it is now.
and you're going to hate me for this. We were also less sensitive about stuff.
Hmm.
That's what the
Yeah.
other side would argue, was that we weren't as politically correct as we are now, which is true. We laughed at ourselves more because of our own stereotypes. We were able to look at ourselves and make fun of ourselves more. Go to Eddie Murphy's first album ever done. Go to Spotify and listen to it. The bigotry, racism, homophobia in that comedy skit he did. This is not raw. This is his first one ever when he was 20.
Mm-hmm.
At the time, and in my gut,
Wildly inappropriate for today's
hilarious.
standards.
By today's standards, no one would say it's okay, but it was hilarious because back then we laughed at ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
We were, I think, Gen X in a weird way.
No, do you think it was just that we laughed at ourselves? I don't think we were as empathetic to just the name calling and everything back then. It wasn't right back then.
I feel Gen X is probably one of the coolest generations ever. We've not had to fight a war like the Great
That's
Generation.
us, right?
That's us.
Mm-hmm.
I feel we grew up in a time where we didn't use the N word ever because that was always offensive. We
Right.
backed off using the R word
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to intellect.
Mm-hmm.
We backed off using that because they're like, yeah, that's probably not cool. But we were okay sometimes with stereotypes. We were okay at it. And people in those stereotypes even laughed at themselves. And that Eddie Murphy skit, people are making fun of black people.
Mm-hmm.
And he does, I think, a great pivot where he's going, oh, yeah, we like watermelon, we like fried chicken. And everyone's laughing and going along with it. He goes, we got big dicks. And all of a sudden he goes, oh, now all you white people shut up when we say that.
Mm-hmm.
But it was funny.
Yeah.
You see how he was able to parlay the stereotypes and flip it, but it wasn't
Well, and
mean.
he was also he's also an African American, so to make fun of yourself is
That's
different
right.
than
That's what I'm-
somebody else, of another.
That's what I'm saying. I feel this is what the right will say about the left takes things too seriously. We're too woke. And it's hard to not hear some of that sometimes. Do you see what I'm getting at?
Yeah.
Though
Yeah,
we've
I
made
do.
it, but here's what I don't think people younger than us understand. I really think, because I think we get lumped into the Gen X people who are running the government right now. They're older than us. They're boomers. Trump is a boomer. 47's a boomer. Scott Bessent, they're boomers. They're older than us. They're in their 60s.
Mm-hmm.
We are Gen Xers.
Yeah.
In fact, we're just Gen Xers, the beginning of Gen X, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's 1964. So we're just inside of it.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe I'm giving Gen Xers too much credit here. I just feel we were much more laid back about shit. And we also said this isn't right. Meaning, we grew up with the AIDS generation. We grew up where we didn't know if literally sitting on a toilet could give you AIDS. And when we found out it was a predominantly gay disease, yeah, early on, we had reactions of, holy fuck. But we also came together. I had gay friends where we had to sit down and talk about, hey, should you be drinking out of the same cup as us? And I know that sounds terrible now, right? But we didn't know. And we were, am I giving us too much credit?
Yeah, no, I mean,
Am I giving me too much credit?
It is, it's such a, I don't know if there's one clear answer. And this is what I get stumbled on, because I hear what you're saying. And when you didn't know something and now you know, and you still behave like you used to behave or say the things you used to behave,
Agreed.
there is no excuse.
Agreed.
And these certain classes of people, or people of different colors, or people with learning disabilities, to call them names, that we fight so hard. Those individuals fight so hard for equality and to be seen, and to be called a name is never going to be and shouldn't be funny. So and then I'm struggling, because I get how we get blamed for being too woke. God, I hate that term, right? Or how would you interpret woke if you would give it an adjective? Like too sensitive? Like get over yourself? You're way too sensitive. Nobody can say anything or do anything. But I have empathy, because we should all be aware of how our words and our actions and our choices are affecting other people. There are people different than us, and to be respectful of them. To me, that's what woke is. Being conscientious of other people.
Well, that's why when 47 mocked the reporter who was handicapped, and he's still revered and cheered for that. I've always asked this question. So our generation, the Gen X generation, at least from my opinion, we all might have done something like that early. I mean, look at you ready? I'm going to throw some lines out there, and I am quoting a fucking movie. So anyone listen, the three people that listen, chill. Fucking chill what I'm about to say. Think of the Farley Brothers movie, Something About Mary.
Yeah.
And they highlight a handicap in there. Right?
I can't remember.
Cameron
Honestly.
Diaz's brother
Okay.
has a mental disability.
Okay.
And they use him as a character and some of his actions because they're funny.
Yeah.
So they go back to the old 1980s stuff. I don't know that movie would get made today. And that was made
Was that actor really disabled?
Yeah.
Okay.
I believe he was. I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say yes so emphatically. I don't know. How's that?
Okay.
But Matt Dillon, is that his name? Yeah, Matt Dillon.
Yeah.
Matt Dillon is in it, and he decides to befriend the handicapped community because he's trying to get in bed with Mary. Mm-hmm. So he goes and volunteers, and they're all Down syndrome kids acting. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden, he says to somebody, "How come you volunteer so much?" He goes, "Oh, I just love these fucking retards."
Oh my God.
And it's hilarious.
Yeah.
Because what the Farley brothers are doing, right? Do you see your reaction was really negative right now. You didn't like it. But to me, it's hilarious because what they're doing, in my mind, they're making fun of people who think that way.
Yes. Yes.
Do you get it?
Yes.
That's an intellectual leap that not many people can make.
It is really saying something about his character in the show.
That's right.
That he's doing this altruistic act, but he's still an asshole underneath.
That's
that
right.
He's still, so in that moment, it is part of the character development.
But
yeah.
This is where, in my opinion, we've lost ourselves, if you want to call it, on the left. Because if my kids were to watch that, your kids, they'd go, it's not even appropriate to put them in the film. Mm-hmm. we watch it, or at least I do, and go, I know why he's putting them in there.
Mm-hmm.
He's not making fun of them.
Mm-hmm.
He's making fun of the people that make fun of him.
Mm-hmm.
What I get hurt by and upset by, can't believe I used the word hurt, but it's true.
Where'd you learn that?
We should take a break right here.
That would be me.
We should take a break.
Jack Honar learned to use the word hurt to describe the depth of emotions. Yes.
I'm not afraid of my masculinity, nor my vulnerability.
Never
Bam.
said you were.
I'm just saying I'm not.
Yeah, never said you were.
I'm really hurt
but
by
you're
what you're
getting
saying.
really sensitive right now, aren't you? Little defensive.
I don't know if I'm hurt or just angry. I'm very confused.
Anger is hurt, my love.
Oh, Christ.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want me to get on the couch now and pull out a pad of paper?
Yes.
Do you realize every podcast we do, there's at least 30 seconds where you make sure you look good. You check yourself.
Well, I can't really see myself because my eyes are going bad, so I'm just getting the overall shape. And I was like, God, this sweatshirt's making me look kind of little meaty. Okay, go
You
ahead.
just pulled a Sharon Stone, though, by.
I wasn't showing my girly bits.
Yeah, you just pulled a Sharon Stone.
No, I was just looking at the angle my legs are making.
Oh, my
So,
God.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Oh, my God. You let that slip out. Oh, my God.
It didn't slip.
Yes, I
It
know.
was fully conscious.
Oh, I know. Oh, I know.
Oh, no. Christ. We went from this wonderfully intellectual
you're making fun
banter.
of me on the show, like blatant.
No, this would
mocking.
be making fun of you.
Oh, I think, oh, I know, is also making fun of me. You nailed it there.
Okay, all right. On the next episode of the Jack and Cathy Shit Show, we talk about why Jack is in the doghouse.
Again.
I just feel somehow along the way, people feel like they've missed out on actually being mean to handicapped people. So I watch that show and I laugh because they're making fun of people who have zero class.
Yeah.
But we have brought into this world and country this need by others to be able to marginalize those that are not white males. I want to start there. Women are fucking bitches.
Yeah.
It just, I don't know. Maybe there is a male crisis identity, which I find hilarious because
It's hilarious.
I do find it hilarious because here's the thing that I'm going to say, and I mean this sincerely. You and I did not come into financial success. I would argue this.
Mm-hmm.
We really didn't come into financial success until our 50s. Would you agree with me on that? We did well, but when I started out, I was making $12,000 a year as a journalist.
Yeah.
In 1988.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care what anybody says. That's low fucking income then. I was busting my ass to make money. 20,000 was what I capped at the next year as a writer.
Mm-hmm.
Do you agree with what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And maybe it was in my mid 40s that I really started getting momentum. But it hasn't been till my 50s that you and I could say, because our income got better and our expenses got less. Kids are starting to move out of the house now. College is pretty much done. Oh, wait, all this money that I earned isn't going towards somebody else.
Yeah.
Raising a family, paying a mortgage, paying for health insurance, paying for medical bills for kids, paying for college, high school.
Yep.
Right?
No, all that's fair. Yep.
Suddenly we're in our
agree.
50s, early 50s, and the expenses leave and the income is still strong, if not stronger. Why am I telling you that? It took me 30 years to get to a place of feeling, and we're not retired, babe. We're not even close to feeling comfortable. I am going to say this now, and if anyone listening wants to fucking fight me, I had a leg up over anyone else that was a woman, that was of a different color than me, or was a different color than me and a woman.
Mm-hmm.
I had a leg up. And if I don't see that, I have never in my life gotten, even when I'm in tough neighborhoods of Chicago, which I just happen to know, I know where I'm going, never in my life thought for a fucking second, I've never gone for a bike ride at 4:00 in the afternoon in the fall when the sun is setting in the woods and thought, I'm by myself. Yeah. Never.
Yeah.
You've gone running, and I've had to tell you, don't put on headphones, and I don't like you going this late in the day.
I feel that whenever I'm alone, I feel that. I'm not kidding you. Yesterday in broad daylight, after I said goodbye to my son after brunch, and I was looking, should I catch the bus? Let me walk a few blocks and try to figure out whether I'm going to take the bus back to the condo in Chicago, or maybe I should. Broad daylight, sunny, people all over. And I still was like, my radar was up. Like, be safe, watch your phone, stay, walk on the sunny side of the street.
So can I press pause on this for a second? And I want to recycle back to how we started here.
Yeah.
We have ushered in this era of men and young men feeling as though, and I would argue white men, feeling as though because we've asked to lift and raise all boats of other people, women, people of color, people who don't have the same sexual orientation as us, because we on our side of the fence has said, hey, everyone deserves a chance because they're born, right?
You're saying on the left side of the fence?
I'm
or
saying on the left.
On the men's side of the fence?
I'm saying on the left, we have a tendency to want to raise all boats. I'm not saying we don't go, this is where I get a little upset with the, for fuck's sake, let's not be so sensitive, right? Mm-hmm. That's where there's a part of me that wants this left culture to chill a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm okay with some progressive stuff, but fucking slow down. Mm-hmm. But to sit here and say that I am not at the place I am because of literally, oh God, this is going to get me in trouble. Because my white father and white mother decided to go at it one day in Illinois, raised by a family that were immigrants who came here. I'm a hell of a lot fucking luckier than someone who decided to go at it in the Congo. Mm-hmm. That's a lottery. That's a fucking lottery ticket. Mm-hmm. And I believe that I have a responsibility with that lottery ticket to raise all boats. Because human interaction is sex. Do you see where I'm going with this? Some people have a couple having sex.
That you have a responsibility is where you're going with it.
Yeah, a couple having sex.
You're very lucky. You recognize that you're a white male, and that it's your responsibility to raise all boats.
I started out with a head start. Mm-hmm. Period.
Yep. Even if you had no money in your bank account and you were homeless, you still had a head start.
My dad, you know the story, said to me, I used to split the bill of college with my parents. I would work over the summer, bust my ass, and I would give them $5,000 to $7,000 to help pay for college.
Yeah.
And my junior year, my dad comes up to me and goes, I had to shift jobs. I can't do this anymore. I cannot pay. I can maybe pay for you to go to school, but I certainly can't pay for you to live anymore.
Yeah.
Now that may not seem like a lot. That's white privilege shit all over the place, right?
Right. You still were going to college, and you still had the opportunity to go, and you were still getting some help from your parents.
It's
still, you're grateful for it.
So I had to bust my ass. I couldn't live with my friends my last year of school. I had to come home. Fortunately, I was at Loyola, so I could still commute and see people. Mm-hmm. But I busted my ass. Now, ready where my advantage came in? I called a shit ton of people saying, hey, man, I need a job. But not like a $5 paper route. I need a fucking job, and I'm going to go to night school now.
Yep.
So I still had to work for it, but here's where my advantage came into play. Like, fuck you, all these white people, because I always want to say to them, are you shitting me and telling me you didn't have a start? Because guess what I did? I called my friend Gary. I'm not going to use his last name. His dad was a judge. And I said, hey, Judge, can I come over to talk to you? I called every friend of mine whose parents were loaded and said, you got anything for me? Because I figured loaded people would have money jobs. Mm-hmm. Now, do you think if I'm some kid that grew up on the South Side in Englewood, I got that fucking connection? Mm-hmm. But we're going to criticize that person? How about this? How about some guy that is handicapped, has cerebral palsy? I had 2 cousins with cerebral palsy. Yep. Think they're going to be able to wheel their chair in and get someone to help them?
Yeah.
They got to go work for some place that has a ramp. And back in the day, we didn't have that shit. There was no ADA compliance.
No.
So what did I do? I got a judge that got me a job as a clerk. You know what a clerk is? 7 o'clock in the morning, I'm running papers from one floor to the next, making copies back when that was the day. But I don't get that without knowing Gary, whose dad is a judge. Do you get where I'm going with this stuff?
Yeah, yeah. It's unfortunate that people feel so threatened by other classes, other genders, or because I do think they feel threatened. And they can't recognize that when we empower all, that we empower ourselves. When we raise other boats, what's that expression?
That's mine. I know
Yeah.
it's said before, but I say it all the time.
Yeah. What is it? How does it go again?
I think it's like water lifts all boats or something
Yeah.
like that, or
Water raises
running
all
water or something.
boats.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know. But
Yeah. You don't know your phrase?
no, I just cut to the
Just
important
kidding.
part.
No, but that's the point that we lift each other up, we empower each other, and we ourselves will do better. Our society does better, our country does better. And it's so unfortunate that we are truly, this isn't just words and a talking point. We are going backwards
Dramatically.
As a country.
Because we need to be white males. And can I add something in real quick? Here's the argument that's going to be said against me. Or at least one that I would think is going to be said against me. One of many. Right. But you still busted your ass. Look how many people are on programs where they don't do anything and they're slow to react and they just want to sit around and be lazy. Yep. Those people exist.
And they always will.
Always will.
Just like
on
at
the
the
other
top.
end. But that's not the point. When I hear the words, yeah, but see, you just told a story where you busted your ass. You're missing the key fucking part. Because I was white and grew up in the Midwest and had great grandparents who came here from another country, immigrants, bitches. Okay. They were fucking immigrants and they were Polish immigrants and Italian immigrants and they were mocked and ridiculed. How many times are we growing up that we would hear Polak jokes, right?
Yeah.
Which was always denigrating the Poles. And you know why people denigrated the Poles? Because they constantly lost in wars. Why did they constantly lose in wars? If you do fucking history, they're in the middle of Europe between Russia and Germany. So they're constantly have to defend two borders. These are from people that don't get shit. So Poles were mocked when they came here for their lack of intellect, right? My great-grandfather was mocked, but they were also seen as hardworking. Let me continue. People would praise me because you got up and you did these things. I'm only able to do this shit because I had a great-grandfather come from Italy and come from Poland with nothing and had nothing when they died. But you know what they both shared in common? They were white. Get it? They already had a leg up on society. My dad was the first person in his family to go to college. My mom didn't even go.
Yeah.
They had a leg up.
Yeah.
So that means I still had to bust my ass.
They were white and male.
But I had no problem picking up a phone, which I had access to. I didn't have to worry about whether or not I had nice clothes to wear to a potential interview. I didn't have to worry about the person sitting across the table being prejudiced against me. In fact, if anything, what I learned when I worked for the government, and it got me a little bitter at one point, was how because of my whiteness, they wanted to have quotas. Remember quotas back in the day, which is now DEI? And I got offended because in one department, they wouldn't hire me because they said, hate to tell you, it's because you're white. And I got offended. My initial reaction was, what? But then I realized, now I understand it better. It's because there's some kid whose parent doesn't have shit. And by the way, it doesn't have to be black or white. It's income. That's really the issue.
It sure is.
It's an income issue.
It sure is. Yeah.
I just described to you, I was able to call my parents, the parents of friends that I had. Every single one of my friends that I talked about was upper middle class. I didn't have to go Collins. I didn't have to put on an air. Does that make sense? Like, that's the argument that's going to be against me. Well, yeah, but you still worked hard for it. Fucking A, man. There were so many people that paved a path ahead of me. So, you know where I'm struggling? Boy, did we go fucking deep into the pool.
We did not plan this, did we?
Jesus,
and we
I
got to
thought we were
wrap
gonna
it up
talk
soon,
about-
babe, because I got somewhere to be at 10 o'clock.
You got
but
7 minutes.
Yeah, not really.
What time is it?
9:19.
You said 10. You said 9:30 you'd leave.
Oh, that doesn't mean that we get to podcast till 9:30 and then I walk out the door.
9:28.
Oh
You
my
bolt.
Okay. But this was not at all. We didn't have a plan like we often don't when we sit down to do our podcast.
Do you?
But we did not think we'd go here, so it's very interesting.
Do you feel we're really stressed out about everything? Is that why we're going here?
I think for sure we're stressed out. I think our entire country is stressed out. Yes. I am scared that my investments are going to tank. I am scared that our health insurance is going to double. I am scared that the housing market is going to flatten, that I don't make an income. I'm scared about a lot of things.
And we're just hating people. Like to see what's happening in Chicago with National Guard and ICE. And that's the irony. The National Guard was sent here to protect the ICE agents and to clean up the crime in Chicago. Englewood and the Austin neighborhoods are two of the worst neighborhoods in the country. And they stepping foot in those neighborhoods. Not that that's the solution, by the way. That's not the solution. Are they even stepping foot in there? No. You know what they're doing now? They're at O'Hare in the Uber parking lot where Uber drivers wait to get called for their next ride. And they're now, do you know what they're doing at the Uber parking lot at O'Hare? Mm-hmm. They're having checkpoints. As drivers leave, they're checking them for their ID and their citizenship, and they're pulling people over if they don't have that stuff with them.
Oh my gosh.
Right. Where's the mayor and the governor saying, what the fuck is going on? And by the way, I'm all for getting rid of undocumented illegals that are here and that they're criminals. But Obama was able to do that. In fact, Obama got criticized for his immigration stance. Democrats said, dude, you're overboard with how many people you've deported from this country. But he did it with habeas corpus. He did it with law. He still used, by the way, ICE, to be sure. You know how long they've been around?
Babe, I am stressing out right now.
Stressed out?
I truly am. I got to stop.
Okay.
I really do.
You didn't know that
so
story,
sorry.
did you?
No, I didn't. And it brings me such anxiety. I can't even, literally my stomach is in knots right now.
Do you want to talk about what we did this morning?
You made me coffee. You were very sweet.
Are you winking at the camera when you say I made you coffee?
Yes.
What kind of coffee did I make you?
Oh.
Was there cream on top? Oh my God. Did you just say that?
God. Help. All right. You want to do
I apologize. I can't. I think we're both stressed about this kind of stuff.
Oh my gosh.
Because we'd
so
like to be
stressful.
spending our near retirement years. We're still a ways away from it, chilling a little bit. Is there an and called is there a stressful card deck?
I don't know.
All right. What's a positive thing we can take? What's positive from all this stuff? Was there a positive thing? No?
I don't know. We talked about all negative stuff. My kids did not have a good experience in Europe.
I think that's a money thing, though. I don't want to take it away from them, but that's part of it, babe.
I don't know. I'm not feeling very positive after that whole discussion.
Well, great. So now the whole podcast is going to be destroyed because you can't get over yourself. Is that what I'm hearing?
And now you're being a dick.
Oh,
so
what is it?
you.
What would a trad wife do?
Oh my God! Stop already. Jeez.
We like learning more about. Oh God, this is fantastic.
What edition is this? This is the couples edition.
Couples edition. So my card is fantastic. It couldn't be more appropriate for a shift in energy.
All right, you go first then.
Can I answer my own question? So we really appreciate the, what's this called? It's not the it's the
Skin Deep.
Skin Deep. We've always appreciated it, and we continue to ask each other questions. We should have a quiz. We should save the questions we asked each other and then quiz each other at the end of the year on the answers so we can see if we actually learn something about one another.
Too late.
Well, no, I can go back and listen to all. I can use AI. I bet I could have AI listen to every single one of our answers.
Wow.
And put a test together.
That would take days.
It would take days. It would take seconds. Literally.
Oh.
What a cool world. That is
all
kind
right.
of cool.
Anyway,
all right.
Continue.
Where is the best place we've had sex?
Is that really the question? Oh. Best place.
Please say the butt.
Would you?
That's from the dating game.
God.
Don't you remember? That's from the dating game.
Oh, that's right.
What's the craziest place you've ever had sex? And she goes, that would be in the butt, Bob.
So funny.
Don't you remember that?
I have seen that on
That's
social media.
fantastic.
That's
Everyone's
so
just
funny.
shocked. That's the reason for the answer. I thought that was funny.
Oh, uh,
Best place.
oh gosh. Um,
There's
I
been
don't
that many,
know.
hasn't there?
Yes,
It's
actually.
hard to think about it.
I don't know. I don't know.
Really? You don't
Best
have the best
place.
place?
No.
Really?
No, I've never thought about place necessarily being like, I don't know. No. What you have something in mind that came to your head right away. So go ahead and answer your own question.
Well, I just think about like cities we've been to where we've been on trips and stuff like that. That's where
Okay.
my brain goes to.
Okay. Well, certainly Chicago.
Yeah, but we're there
No.
all the time.
No, this was before we had our place.
Well, we also spent nights there too. We got
Yeah,
hotel
at the
rooms
Pendry.
sometimes. Yeah, the
Mm-hmm.
Pendry. I love that place.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of sad that we're not going to go there this year because we have a place. Isn't that weird?
Stop. Answer your question.
Lucerne. I thought it was just beautiful because we opened up what do you call those little doors?
The balcony
What's that
doors?
balcony called? There's a name for that little balcony. Juliet
Like a
balcony?
little Juliet balcony.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so we were overlooking the
river.
Galuga River. I don't know the
You're
name of
making
it.
that up.
But it was a beautiful day, and the
was-
doors were open, and the wind was
The
coming
romance was
Yeah.
was high.
So
like,
that's
like cue the view, cue
Yeah.
the balcony doors, cue the sun, cue
And
the
bring in the double.
romantic city.
but then
Yeah.
bring in the double.
Is Jack's double here?
Yeah,
Can we bring him in for the close-ups?
Can we get somebody else for this shot, please?
All right, good one. If you could go back to when we met, what advice would you give yourself about dating me?
Oh, I love that question. Do you have an answer for me too?
Ah,
I would, if I could rewind it. I
Yeah.
loved how I was on our first and few dates.
mm-hmm,
So it was very authentic, and you made me feel comfortable then.
mm-hmm.
I would say be more sensitive. Be more aware that she's a very sensitive creature. She's got this tough exterior,
Yeah,
but she's very, very sensitive, and be more aware of how you could flood her. So be very
Yeah.
patient. Yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
would tell myself.
that's funny because
That's what you would tell me to tell myself?
it's what came to mind first. Yeah, that I would, if I would have had the turn of phrase, you gave me that turn of phrase of you're flooding
Flooding,
me.
yeah.
Yeah. And you have always said your superpower is how self-aware you are.
Yeah.
And so you said, I know I can flood you
I
sometimes.
just did it today on the
And
podcast.
yes, you did.
Yeah.
And I'm more comfortable now going, okay, we got to stop.
Yeah,
We
like you
gotta
did.
stop.
Like you did.
I'm about to throw up.
Like you did on the
Because-
podcast
Yeah.
today.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, and the other expression you gave me is land the plane. Like if you, I need to tell you to land the plane because you are a very good storyteller, and
It just doesn't have to be
tell
500 pages.
Well, you tell very colorful stories, and it's. I would say this along the lines of that color analogy is you don't need to use every color to tell your story. That we can tell the story with a dozen colors.
I will take that personally.
Yeah.
What would you say you would tell me? You would tell yourself about me?
It was that. It was that. It was that.
You would tell yourself to tell him to land the plane. That's your learning. I tell you that I would be more sensitive and you would be more aggressive. How the fuck does that? Okay, no, that makes sense.
because well,
I would be more willing to say, dude, can you wrap it up? That's how you would be more self-aware. The fuck? What a great way to end the podcast. I pour my heart out and go, hey, be more sensitive to her because sometimes you can be aggressive.
Okay, you make a really good point.
Oh, fuck.
It was about me. It truly was about me of finding my voice, like what advice I would give myself to like
It's still
find
not related to how
sorry.
you would be better showing up for me. Like the answer might be, he might be a little more patient with him. Understand that he tells lots of stories.
Yes.
Yeah, wonderful.
I love you.
I would be more willing to tell you off. That would have been hey, before you go on this date, understand he tells, tell him to land the plane. Feel confident. Break his soul.
This is so perfect.
I'm glad we're ending on a funny note. And you're still not finding something else. That's the best part. You can't even conjure up something. Oh, goodness sakes. On that note.
Well, I was pretty perfect. When if you could go back to when we met, what advice would you give yourself about dating me?
Dating me? What advice would you give yourself? Means
about dating Jack.
Oh my God. Maybe we'll lead with the next episode because you need a week to think it through. I'm going to take mine back now. I'm going to take it back. I did everything perfect. And
well,
oh God, I can't wait to hear you mess this one up too. Go ahead. Dive in.
I did learn
we should have led with this.
Very similarly to what you said about me is I do think you are very sensitive too in a lot of ways. And you have such a tough guy, hard ass, nothing affects me. In fact, I think the world comes at you with thinking that too, that they think, oh, Jack can take any punch you throw at any time. And that is not the case. You are very sensitive too. Underneath you are very strong. And underneath there is somebody that is very sensitive. Your little boy, I did not meet your little boy right away that lives inside. And so that would have been it.
Mm.
How is that?
You're getting closer.
I love you.
Jesus Christ. On that note, peace.
You just listened to another episode of the Jack and Cathy Shit Show. All recording, engineering, and production provided by us. Connect with the podcast on Instagram at Jack and Cathy Shit Show for more insight into our shit show of a life. This episode is proudly brought to you by Pint Productions.
Point.